It's the most wonderful time of the year. Or is it? Today, we follow a chaotic, arguing family who've completely lost their Christmas spirit, leading one young boy to make a terrible wish. Santa doesn't come this year. Instead, something ancient and far darker arrives, and it isn't here to give gifts. Welcome back to Recap TV. Today, we're diving into the dark fantasy horror film called Krampus from 2015. If you enjoy story recaps like this, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more recaps like this. Before we get started, I want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. Now get comfy and let's dive right into the story. The story opens in a shopping mall. A frantic montage shows crazed holiday shoppers storming a department store, shoving employees aside and trampling one another in a blind rush for Christmas deals. All of it plays under cheerful Christmas music, turning the chaos into something deeply unsettling. In the middle of the madness, two kids are fighting while parents struggle to pull them apart. Later, the Engel family arrives home. Young Max Engel, a sensitive and imaginative boy, is questioned about the fight by his mother Sarah, an anxious and tightly wound parent, and his father Tom, a weary but patient mediator. Max explains that the other kid was saying mean things about Santa Claus, mocking him in front of everyone. He admits he couldn't stand hearing Santa being insulted. In the kitchen, we meet Max's German grandmother, Omi, a mysterious elderly woman quietly baking Christmas treats. As the tension from the mall fades, the family shifts into preparation mode. Decorations come out. Food is prepared. The house slowly fills with forced holiday energy. Omi sits with Max and gently asks if he has written his letter to Santa yet. Max says he hasn't finished it. He then asks if Omi actually believes in Santa. Omi smiles and tells him that believing in Santa is the same as believing in the Christmas spirit itself. As she speaks, her smile slowly fades, as if the words carry a painful memory she doesn't want to revisit. The scene shifts upstairs to Beth, Max's teenage sister, stretched out on her bed while talking to her boyfriend, Derek. Suddenly, the entire house begins to shake as a loud diesel engine pulls up outside. Beth sighs, already annoyed. Downstairs, everyone reacts with the same disappointed recognition. The guests have arrived. Sarah opens the front door. Standing on the porch are Sarah's sister Linda, a blunt and quick-tempered woman, and her loud, overconfident husband Howard, holding baby Chrissy. They arrive with their kids. Howie Jr., a well-fed and spoiled boy. Stevie and Jordan, sharp-tongued and mean-spirited sisters. Weaving between everyone's legs is their excitable family dog, Rosie. As if that weren't enough, another figure steps forward. Aunt Dorothy, a bitter, foul-mouthed elderly relative Sarah openly despises. The sight of her alone is enough to drain what little holiday cheer Sarah has left. The house immediately feels smaller. The calm vanishes as loud voices overlap. At the dinner table, Howard boasts loudly about his guns and survival skills, subtly trying to belittle Tom. Linda tells him to knock it off. Aunt Dorothy criticizes Sarah's cooking without hesitation, pushing her closer to snapping. She follows Sarah into the kitchen, continuing her complaints until Sarah finally tells her to back off. Soon, the kids turn on Max. They joke about Santa's sleigh crashing into the mountains and how Santa had to eat his reindeer to survive, clearly trying to provoke him. Max tries to keep his calm. Then the sisters pull out Max's letter to Santa and begin reading it out loud, laughing as they go. The laughter slowly fades when they realize Max didn't ask for toys. He wished for his parents to love each other again. He wished to spend more time with his sister Beth, like they used to. He also wished for things to get better between Linda and Howard. Then Stevie reads the final line. Max wrote that Howard wishes Stevie and Jordan were boys. Stevie explodes, and the moment turns violent. Shouting fills the room as the adults pull the fighting children apart. Max screams at everyone, unloading all of his frustration. Christmas isn't fun anymore. He hates the holiday and everything it's become. He storms upstairs, slamming the door behind him. Tom follows Max, trying to calm him down. Sitting beside his son, he explains that this is just part of the holidays. Family comes together, flaws and all, and sometimes you just have to get through it. Eventually, he leaves Max alone in his room, hoping the moment has passed. But it hasn't. Max stares at the Santa letter lying on his desk. Suddenly, he rips it apart, shredding every wish he wrote down. He throws the torn pieces out the window and into the night. Outside, the scraps of paper swirl upward as a powerful gust of wind catches them. The sky darkens unnaturally, clouds rolling in fast over the neighborhood. Then, without warning, the power cuts out and the entire neighborhood plunges into darkness. The next morning rises, but the snowstorm hasn't let up. The neighborhood is buried under white. Max stands at the window staring outside. Something new catches his eye. A snowman stands directly in front of the house. Its shape feels wrong. Its smile feels deliberate. It's watching. Nearby, Sarah speaks quietly with Tom. She's worried. With no electricity, no heat, and limited food, she doesn't know how they're supposed to manage, especially with so many people in the house. The doorbell rings. Linda opens the door to find a delivery driver standing in the snow, still making deliveries despite the storm. On the porch beside him sits a massive bag filled with wrapped gifts. When Linda asks about it, the delivery man says it's not from him. He didn't bring it. Howard shrugs and drags the bag inside. Beth steps forward and tells her parents she wants to go check on her boyfriend, Derek, who lives just a few blocks away. Sarah and Tom protest, warning her about the storm, but after a moment's hesitation, they give her 1 hour. Outside, Beth pushes forward into the blizzard. The neighborhood feels eerily still, frozen in time. Snow blankets everything. No movement, no sound beyond the wind. Suddenly, the sky darkens unnaturally fast. Beth slows. She looks around. Then she sees it. A massive, horned figure crouches on top of a nearby roof. Dark, inhuman, watching her. Beth gasps. The creature launches itself overhead, landing on another roof and revealing more of its enormous shape. Beth screams and runs. The figure gives chase, leaping effortlessly from rooftop to rooftop, keeping pace with her no matter how fast she moves. Beth stumbles upon the delivery truck. She rushes to the driver's seat and looks inside, only to find the delivery man frozen solid, his face locked in terror. Panicking, Beth dives beneath the truck. Moments later, the creature appears beside the vehicle. From beneath, Beth watches its hooves sink into the snow. It slowly circles the truck as she struggles to stay silent. Then, suddenly, it's gone. Beth exhales, confused and shaking. That's when she notices something beside her. A small box sits on the ground. It begins playing cheerful Christmas music. The lid creaks as it slowly opens. Beth stares, frozen in fear. A clown toy slowly rises from inside. Beth screams. The truck begins to shake violently as her scream is swallowed by the storm. Back at the house, time drags on. Beth doesn't return. Tom and Sarah grow increasingly worried. Finally, Tom turns to Howard and suggests they take Howard's Hummer to go look for her. Howard, eager for action, agrees without hesitation. As they prepare to leave, Omi pulls Tom aside. Quietly, she warns him that he shouldn't leave the house. It isn't safe. Tom doesn't listen and heads out anyway. The scene cuts to Tom and Howard driving through the storm. Snow slams against the windshield, the road barely visible. Soon, they come across a snowplow blocking the street. When they approach it, they find out that the windshield is shattered, but the glass is pushed inward, not out. They don't know what could have done that. Uneasy, Howard opens the back of the Hummer and hands Tom a gun. Armed, they continue on foot. They eventually reach Derek's house. Inside, it's a wreck. Furniture overturned, signs of a struggle, no people, no warmth. Tom notices footprints in the snow-covered floor, but they aren't human. Howard points out immediately that those are goat footprints. Tom stares at them, confused, and questions what kind of goat walks on 2 legs. Suddenly, a scream cuts through the storm. It's Beth. Tom bolts outside, sprinting toward the sound. Howard follows, but as he tries to keep up, something moves beneath the snow. It grabs Howard and starts dragging him under. Howard screams for help as the snow churns violently around him. Tom rushes back, grabbing Howard and trying to pull him free, but the force beneath the snow is too strong. Desperate, Tom raises the gun and fires into the ground. A creature screams beneath the snow, slithering away beneath the surface. Shaken and injured, Tom and Howard make their way back toward the Hummer, only to find it completely destroyed. Back home, Sarah is preparing to go after them when the door suddenly bursts open. Tom and Howard stumble inside. Everyone is confused. They have heard the gunshots. Panic begins to fill the room. The adults try to stay calm in front of the children, downplaying what happened. As they tend to Howard's inured leg, Tom notices Omi standing near the fireplace, visibly shaken. He asks if she's all right. Omi only says one thing: keep the fire hot. Tom and Howard quietly explain everything to Sarah and Linda. Sarah grows more terrified for Beth, but Tom assures her that there's nothing they can do for her now. They decide the only option is to stay inside and barricade the house. Later, Howard thanks Tom for saving his life and awkwardly apologizes for always thinking he was a loser. Tom feels a bit offended, but accepts the apology anyway. Max approaches his father and asks if they're going to survive. Tom forces a calm smile and tells his son that everything is going to be all right. Night falls. Everyone has settled into the living room near the fireplace, clinging to its warmth. Howard is supposed to stay on guard, but exhaustion overtakes him and he falls asleep. Unattended, the fire dwindles and dies. Something moves above the house. A faint sound comes from the chimney, metal scraping against brick. Slowly, a chain lowers down from above. Tied to the end is a gingerbread man. The soft clinking of the chain wakes Howie Jr. He sits up and stares at the cookie, mesmerized. Without thinking, he approaches it. He reaches out and takes a bite. The gingerbread man springs to life and screams. Howie gasps and drops the cookie as it scuttles around him. The chain wraps around his body, tightening fast. In seconds, Howie Jr. is yanked upward toward the chimney. His screams wake everyone. Sarah lunges forward, grabbing his legs. Tom, Linda, and Howard pile on, desperately trying to hold him down. In the struggle, a piece of burning firewood rolls from the fireplace and slides beneath the Christmas tree. Flames catch instantly. The house fills with smoke and shouting. Soon, their grip finally slips, and Howie Jr. is dragged screaming up the chimney, vanishing into the darkness above. Max snaps into action, grabbing the fire extinguisher and dousing the flames. The room falls silent. Only terror remains. Omi steps forward. Her voice is calm, but heavy. She tells them this is their fault, all of it. The room goes still as she begins to speak of her childhood. A Christmas long ago, in a time of cold and hunger. A time when people stopped caring for one another. Even her parents lost their love, their kindness, their spirit. Eventually, Omi did too. That's when she wished everyone would just go away. A wish she would come to regret. Santa did not come that year. Instead, something ancient arrived. A dark reflection of St. Nicholas. Krampus. Omi recalls watching helplessly as Krampus and his helpers dragged her family into the underworld. All except her. Krampus spared her, leaving her behind as a reminder of what happens when hope is lost and the Christmas spirit dies. Her voice breaks. Tears fall. The room has frozen in disbelief. Howard breaks the silence, scoffing and calling her crazy, saying none of it is real. Furious and shaken, he grabs his gun and storms for the door, ignoring everyone's protests. He opens it. On the porch, multiple pairs of glowing eyes stare back at him from the darkness. Laughter echoes from the storm. Before anything can happen, the others drag him back inside and slam the door shut. No one argues anymore. The house is sealed. The next day arrives, but the storm shows no mercy. With nothing else to do, Linda tries to distract herself by opening some of the Christmas presents. She moves from box to box until she reaches one of the gifts that came from the massive sack left on the porch. Just as she's about to open it, Sarah interrupts her, and they leave the room. The moment they're gone, the present begins to shake violently on its own. Meanwhile, Stevie and Jordan wander through the house, bored and restless. They hear noises coming from above them. It sounds like Beth. Hope sparks instantly. They move towards the sound, calling her name. Moments later, their screams tear through the house. The adults grab weapons and rush toward the screams. Howard hears strange noises coming from the kitchen and decides to check it alone, while Linda, Tom, and Sarah head toward the attic. There, they find the presents torn open from the inside. As they sweep the room with the flashlights, something horrifying comes into view. A massive, worm-like toy creature is in the middle of swallowing Jordan whole. Linda lets out a desperate scream. Tom fires his gun, and the creature shrieks before retreating into the vents. Just then, a group of demonic toys attack from every direction. Sarah is nearly strangled by her mother's angel ornament, its Christmas lights wrapping around her neck. Linda is tackled by a vicious teddy bear, and Tom is assaulted by a robot toy. Downstairs, Howard is suddenly ambushed and shot in the leg by something. In disbelief, he sees that a group of living gingerbread men are operating a nail gun. Howard dives for cover, grabbing a cutting board to shield himself from the barrage. He spots a lantern near the enemy and fires his gun. The explosion incinerates the gingerbread men, except one. The last cookie charges at him. Before it can attack, Rosie steps forward and swallows it whole, saving Howard. Back in the attic, the fight continues. Linda struggles with the teddy bear until she spots Stevie nearby. Fueled by adrenaline, she drives an icicle into the bear and rushes to her daughter. Sarah and Tom regroup just as the robot toy advances again. Sarah grabs the gun and shoots it, finally stopping the murderous toy. Everyone rushes back downstairs, trying to process what just happened. Then, a loud scraping echoes through the ceiling. The worm-like creature is moving through the vents. Max opens the vent and sends Rosie inside. The family listens as a brutal struggle tears through the pipe above them. The ceiling collapses, and both Rosie and the creature crash into the living room. Howard raises his gun, ready to finish it, but another demonic toy attacks him from above. Behind the couch, the teddy bear reappears, wanting revenge. Aunt Dorothy has had enough. She grabs the shotgun and with calm precision blasts the demonic toys apart one by one. She turns the gun toward the worm creature, ready to end it. That's when a manic laugh echoes through the house. Elves. They smash through the barricaded windows effortlessly, swarming the room. Before anyone can react, they grab baby Chrissy and Aunt Dorothy and take them away. Howard desperately clings to the worm creature that swallowed his daughter, only to get dragged through the window into the storm as well. There are too many elves. The family can't fight back. Then, a sharp, horn-like call echoes through the air. The elves retreat. Realizing this is their only chance, Tom and Sarah make a quick decision. They'll reach the snowplow and try to escape the town for help. Suddenly, something massive lands on the roof. They freeze. Quietly, they prepare to leave. As the others head into the storm, Omi remains standing in the doorway. She looks at them one last time and softly says, "Be good." She closes the door, trapping her inside. Tom screams for his mother to open the door, but Max stops him. He understands. Omi has made her choice. She intends to face Krampus alone. Omi stands before the fireplace, ready to face the demon that took her family. Something massive begins to descend down the chimney. Chains clank. Long claws scrape against brick. Curved horns slowly emerge from the darkness. Krampus rises into the room, towering over her in his full, horrifying form. He resembles Santa Claus, but twisted into something darker and monstrous. His body is old and crooked, his breath low and guttural. A long, unsettling tongue slips from his mouth as he leans toward Omi. She does not move. She does not speak. Krampus reaches for his massive sack and opens it in front of her. Omi looks inside. A swarm of toys lunges out, and in a second, Omi is gone. Outside, the others push through the storm. They finally reach the snowplow, their last chance to escape. Suddenly, a familiar screech cuts through the wind. Tom recognizes the sound instantly. He tells the others to keep going. He'll slow it down. Sarah and Max refuse at first, but Tom insists. He embraces them tightly, sharing one final, emotional goodbye. Then he turns to face what's coming. The slithering creature emerges beneath the snow, racing toward him. Tom fires his gun again and again until the clicks go dry. Out of options, he lowers the weapon, and soon he's gone. Nearby, Sarah, Linda, Stevie, and Max reach the snowplow. Just as they think they're safe, the creature strikes again, pulling Linda under the snow. Sarah shoves Max and Stevie into the vehicle and slams the doors shut. A split second later, the creature grabs her, dragging her away. Inside the snowplow, Max and Stevie cry out for their parents. Max turns the key, but nothing happens. He tries again. The engine refuses to start. Suddenly, the elves return. They swarm the vehicle, ripping Stevie away and vanishing into the storm, leaving Max alone. Max steps out of the snowplow. Krampus appears before him. They lock eyes. Krampus drops something onto the snow at Max's feet. It's the torn letter that started everything. Along with the letter, he finds a small, cursed-looking bell, just like the one Omi carried. The bell marks the end of the hunt. But Max isn't finished. He pushes onward through the snow until he finds them. Krampus and the elves are gathered in a ritual-like celebration. Stevie is there, crying for help as the elves laugh around her. Max screams for Krampus. The demon turns. Max begs him to take the curse back. He demands his family be returned. The ground begins to crack open beneath them, splitting into a massive pit leading straight into the underworld. The elves hold Stevie at the edge. Max makes an offer. If Krampus restores his family, he can take Max instead. The laughter stops. For a moment, Krampus seems to consider the deal. Then, with a simple gesture, the elves erupt into laughter again and throw Stevie into the pit. Krampus grabs Max and dangles him over the abyss. Max tells him the truth. He just wanted Christmas to be the way it used to be. Krampus releases him. Max falls into the abyss and crashes onto the floor beside his bed. He wakes up. Morning light fills the room. Outside, everything is normal. Christmas lights glow. The storm is gone. There are no elves, no Krampus. Max opens the final door on his advent calendar, then walks into the living room. His entire family is there, alive, smiling, laughing, opening presents together as if nothing ever happened. Christmas feels whole again. Max receives one small gift. Inside is the bell. As soon as he lifts it, the room goes silent. Every face turns serious. Fear flickers beneath their smiles. The camera pulls back, farther and farther away. The Engel house sits inside a tiny snow globe, one of hundreds, maybe thousands, lining the shelves of Krampus's lair. Thanks for watching. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe. Catch you in the next one.